subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get all the latest updates. Hi everyone, my name is Anita and I welcome you all on Inkpothub Media once again. Today I'm going to be speaking with Stacy, who is pursuing her PhD program in management from the place which is we all wish to go in our lifetimes, and we want to enjoy those beaches and breezes. Goa Institute of Management. She is a second year student, got admission in the year 2020, and she's going to share with us her experiences on how to get in the Goa Institute of Management and overall 2 years of experience. Thank you so much for accepting our request. Tell me more about how you're feeling at Goa Institute of Management, the feel of Goa. Tell me about it.
Firstly, thank you so much for inviting me for this opportunity. Goa, especially the campus, it's very quiet and peaceful, as well as the mountains. You imagine you're living with such a great scenery, like you wake up to the sunrise. And also, you get interactions with diverse peers from all across the nation. So, there's a lot of networking as well. And also, there's an ample amount. There's a badminton court, a swimming pool, a tennis court. So, there's a lot of activities throughout the day.
Okay.
As well as the campus, in terms of the research side of it, there is a lot.
I'm going to come to that because
Okay.
I'm speaking you from that perspective right now, because you are on campus, and how does it
Yes.
feel? Because place and the ambience and the surroundings, the nature makes it extremely beautiful. So I just wanted to know, because every time when we hear Goa means something else, and I just wanted to know how are you feeling over there. So you're pursuing your FPM in which area, Stacy, if you can tell us, and what is your background, if you can throw some light on that.
Yeah, sure. So after completing my bachelor's in psychology and sociology from St. Xavier's, Mumbai, I pursued my master's in industrial and organizational psychology. And therein I realized the value of people as an asset to an organization. So this inspired me to pursue my FPM in the domain of HR and OB. Also, my family has been a major motivator behind like my whole research journey. My sister and my brother-in-law both have pursued their PhD. So HR and OB has always been in the family and a great interest to me.
Okay, so I was about to ask you what motivated you to pursue the PhD program in the first place. So you already answered that. So why Goa Institute of Management became your first choice?
Yes, so personally, research for me is very individually driven. You have to be very proactive, and GIM offers a excellent research culture in terms of the very knowledgeable faculty. So you have a very flexible and customizable course structure. You also have the state of the art research infrastructure, like I was mentioning. So you have the behavioral lab, you have eye tracking, you have access to a wide variety of journals. There's also personalized mentorship. Your faculty themselves are doing very cutting edge recent research. So you get hands on experience in terms of newer research methodologies and analytical tools. So GIM proved to be the best fit for me personally. And albeit I've done dissertations in the past at a smaller level, this was, I knew, would give me that exposure and that hands on experience to complete my thesis and pursue research.
Okay. Okay. So I'll take you 2 years back, and I would ask you about your interview experience. So I would like to know what was the procedure when you applied for the program, and what was the procedure like? Did you submit any proposal? Did you submit any statement of purpose? All about that aspect, if you can share with us.
Yes. Sure. So it was a very structured process. There was an application form, there was a research proposal, an SOP, and 2 letters of recommendations. In terms of the interview, so the first 10 minutes of the interview were assigned for your presentation. And then there was following which there was an interview discussion, which mainly focused around the majority of the interview was you defending your research topic and your research thesis, as well as clarifying in terms of the implications of it. And then there were questions in terms of you have to know your statistics base, it should be strong, and the research methodology. So I got questions in terms of sampling techniques and why this method. And there was importantly in for my interview, there was 4 faculty, and each one of them I felt was specialized in a particular domain. So since I was pursuing it in HR and OB, one of the faculties was an HR OB professor. One was proficient in statistics. One had a strong background on research methodology. So it was very structured. The interview had a nice flow to it. I also practiced how to fit in that proposal in 10 minutes so I don't exceed time. So it was a great experience, and it was also one of the longest interviews of my life.
So how long it was?
Not that long. I don't know. At that time, it felt it was very long, but I guess it was like 30 to 40
Okay.
minutes.
Okay.
I mean, as long as you're answering the questions, it's not that you have to answer each question correctly. It's just about being confident, but also being receptive to feedback.
So, do you remember any answer of yours which you now think that changed the tables? And
Yes, so my research proposal was on this concept of servant leadership.
okay,
And already, servant leadership is basically a leadership style where the followers are the main concern and the organizations are peripheral. So there's agapo love, empathy, empowerment, service. So I remember this question was on, I wanted to study a moderating role. So every time leadership has been seen from a leader centric point of view. So I wanted to see whether follower styles, whether they are studied that can implicate or kind of weaken the relationship between positive outcomes. So I remember one professor asked me, what is servant leadership? How is it going to be applied in India? Like it seemed like such an idealistic concept. But I remember the answer I gave. I gave him practical examples of Southwest Airlines or examples of even companies in India which are whose leaders are servant leaders, but they themselves don't term it that. And I remember not convincing him, but just standing my ground and stating my point of how followers profiles need to be studied in terms of the attachment styles.
okay, wow.
So that was interesting.
So that was the moment when you realized that this will make me in. That's really great. Okay, so moving towards the 2 years of experience. So first year and the second year, I'm sure it's all about your coursework and COVID experiences and offline, online teaching. Right now, you are on
Online, yeah.
campus. I'm sure you are on campus now. People have started moving back on campuses. So tell me more about it, how your experience so far around the coursework is, and what kind of courses you have been through, and was it challenging? What kind of other aspects did you learn? So tell me more about that aspect of the coursework.
Sure. So what I really appreciated, like I mentioned, it's very customizable. So you choose the electives that you're passionate about. So and you do the coursework, like a part of the coursework with the PGDM students themselves. So it's very interesting to sit in a class with them, or even when it's online, to hear their opinions. Especially many of them have an ample amount of work experience. So I got a lot of practical examples of organizations. And then you also have your FPM core credits, which you learn qualitative research. So you also learn, so in qualitative research, you learn all the techniques. Then in quantitative research, you learn SCM, multivariate data analytics, all the kind of statistical tools right from the start. Also, you have a lot of presentations. So you kind of read these top journals, all their papers, and you try kind not criticize it, but try to offer constructive criticism. What could have been done better? What are the future research aspects of that papers? So the coursework was very well organized, and it's very good to have. Whenever we learn a software, we're not just learning it through the book, we're actually doing it. So that is a very good thing.
Okay. Going back to your preparation days when you were preparing for the FPM admission, tell me more
Yes.
about which books did you read, or did you follow any journal? How did you write your research
My
proposal
research
for the
proposal.
admission. Yes, um, because you might have submitted 2,000 words research proposal. If you can share
Yes,
about
yes.
that preparation times which you went through.
Sure. So I already had a structure in my head of how I wanted the proposal. So it would be my motivation, theory, hypothesis, analysis, methodology, limitations, implications.
Mhm.
So basically, to start to find the topic, I went through the recent research in the top HR and OB journals. And especially in the leadership domain, I found the best journal in terms of that, in terms of the leadership aspect. And since I was very interested in it, and then I read up on the top journals and the research papers. Also,
Mhm.
I read a book in terms of servant leadership. I've read at least 3 books in order to understand. So, if they would cross question me, I was equipped with the right answers.
Mhm.
Also, in terms of the research methodologies and statistics, since I was in a very intensive master's program which had this research base in terms of experiments which I had to conduct in psychology, so I
Mhm.
went through all the research methodology, whether it was the PPTs assigned in class or the books recommended to me at that time,
Mhm.
and also the statistical analysis through my master's program. That
Mhm.
was all that I could cover.
Okay. What are those attributes which the interviewers are looking for in the interviewee?
One thing is you have to be strong in your base, like in terms of your research methods and statistics. Secondly, which is often ignored, is you have to be open and receptive to constructive criticism.
Mhm.
You cannot just be like, this is what I want to do, this is how I'm going to do it. Because very often the topic that you start off with is not the topic that you end up with. So if they are offering suggestions, it's important to listen to them. It's important to thank, appreciate it, and also see where it fits in your whole pieces. That is what I found during my interview as well. When they were offering me very constructive criticism, sometimes it feels like they're trying to stress. It's like a stress interview, like they're trying to put pressure, but they're also trying to see how you handle that pressure. So
Mhm.
it's important to be receptive to that feedback and that constructive criticism. Secondly, you are not your thesis. You cannot know everything and anything that is there to do with your topic. So, what they look for is you have to be a continuous learner. So that is something which I felt like in my interview they asked me this statistical concept which which I knew, but at that time I completely blanked out. So I explained to him what I did know. It was in the same lines, but I said I'm that is something that I'm continuously learning, and that is what I thought they appreciated in terms of my showing that even though I'm not knowing it, I'm still learning.
Okay, great. So, any passing remark to the future potential PhD students who are going to be your juniors, your peers? What kind of peer group you are looking for?
I really appreciate from it's not necessary I want everyone from HROB because
Uh,
I've also seen in my own colleagues when a marketing person or an economics person, sometimes their theories and all can be easily applied to my domain. So I really appreciate diverse thinking and diverse perspectives. What advice I would give them is even though it gets overwhelming, it's important for you to have that balance. Like sometimes any time I'm doing something like research topics are just popping up in my head. So it's important to keep a balance and also just be calm during the interview. Don't think of it as a kind of they are trying to like you feel sometimes you're defending your life's worth. It's not that. It's just important to know your topic well and don't choose something which is not easily which can help people like it should have implications managerial implications as well as in terms of helping the organization. So that's my advice is sometimes we choose very theory driven things, but I appreciate something which has practical implications and real life instances.
I think, Stacy, this is the future. This is going to be the future of research, and we all look forward to those papers and outcomes which are impact oriented. And
Yes,
ultimately, we need um, more people to read our work. So they are required to be impactful.
yes.
They are required to have an impactful research. So I wish you all the best, and we are going to
Thank you
stay in
so much.
touch. so that I will
Yes.
keep on coming to you to ask a lot of further questions around your, post comprehensive experience at GIM, comprehensive exam experience at GIM, and also about your first conference experience, because it is always very special. First failure, first conference,
Yes, yes.
first acceptance, thesis, and there are so many aspects around research journey. So I'll keep on coming. Inkpothub is going to speak a lot around these aspects.
Thank you so much,
It's
guys.
great to see you all here. Thank you for watching our work. If you have not subscribed to Inkpothub Media, then please hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel and support research celebrations in India.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.